I realized later that my obsession with lesbian fighter couples is leaking again. This isn't the first time this has happened. Why can't I run one game without throwing in a pair of superpowered lesbian NPCs? Hey, what's up, I'm SkyDieRay and welcome to another DnDGreentext video. I hope you guys are doing great today. Before jumping into this video, I feel like I can share this with you here because I don't have anywhere else to share it and I want to share it. Okay, that makes sense. It's my video, I can do this, yeah? Alright, so I had to skip not one, but two. I almost skipped 3 stories for this video. One of them I included, I think the first story actually, I only included the first part because it started getting f***ed up. Another story I completely ignored because it was f***ed up entirely. And another story that I wanted to skip but I didn't in the end. But I wanted to skip it because of how difficult it was to read it because of grammatical issues that I had to just fix on the fly while reading through it. Okay, anyway, rant over. I feel relieved now that I complained about this. Probably it's weird because I say this now, but I read the stories and then I record the intro and the outro for the video. Alright, anyway, rant over. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Leave a like on the video if you want more of those. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Anon makes a green text. Second game as a DM, 5th edition. Big bad evil guy gets killed in the middle of the campaign. Don't know what to do, so I improvised another big bad evil guy for the campaign's end. Doesn't have any true stats. Just go with the flow and try to make it look very strong. Almost TPK. Good roll from the rogue. Yes, he dies and the piece comes back, blah 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 blah. It was fun, Anon. My face when. I think this was mentioned before in stories, or I might have mentioned it as well, but this is why you always roll your dice in secret. Never have accidental TPKs that way. The best character development is unplanned. Bimmy, grown-ass Viking man playing a cute little fairy race homebrew with Magic Moon Sorcerer homebrew class. I'm a tiny Sailor Moon. Yeah. CuteAF.jpg. Binatme, DM. Female Elven-time wizard who is attracted to books. Female Dragonborn warlock of the Leviathan who likes tentacles for all reasons relating to a schoolgirl. Male human ranger that rides a massive bear with druid powers named Banjo and an Anjanat shrunk into a bottle named Kazooie. Campaign starts with us as kids in an orphanage. As Magic Moon Sorcerer, start level 1 with a spell that hits in an AoE around me 3 motion. Fairy Girl is meek and cowardly. Every time she cries, explosions happen. Almost accidentally TPK the party in the first session due to a bully. Plot happens, and we accidentally release probably Big Bad Evil Guy. The entire town and orphanage is erased. Have to move to a new town. The DM does a 5-year time skip and lets us choose how we spend the time in the new town. Choose to try and be brave and become the town vigilante and take levels in Monk, Way of the Boxer. Magic Moon Sorcerer also has a spell that lets you transform sequence like Sailor Moon. As long as there are no witnesses to the transformation, no one recognizes you despite looking exactly alike. Have a fairy familiar that uses minor illusion to disguise as me at home. My face when I'm adorable Batman. Start to help the town and become friends with the town guard. Things are going okay in the first year. Fairy slowly becomes braver and less shy or easy to scare. Character development that Avi. Eventually, take a bigger quest than usual after a year. Poster requesting someone to stop a serial killer. Go to inquire for details and end up at a dilapidated house, broken as hell. I call inside and I get invited in. Quest giver is an undead that is fully sentient. He's requesting me to stop the murder of the other undead by the hand of some hunter. I'm thinking to myself that most undead are evil, and technically it's not against the law to kill them, as they aren't considered people in this setting. But being overly optimistic, I think that I can maybe talk to the hunter and make sure he isn't straight up killing non-evil creatures before I have to use any force. The hunter lives in a house on the outskirts of the town. I go to do recon and try to sneak into the house. Find an unlocked window and I open it. Gunshot fires. Holy crap, that JPEG. Window was booby-trapped. Luckily, it was designed to headshot a normal-sized person and not a tiny fairy girl. I see a grenade get tossed out a minute later as I regain hearing. Bail the f*** out that Avi. Fight ensues between a gunslinger paladin and the fairy. Barely survive and knock him out with 2 health left. Blooded to hell. I restrain him and wait for him to regain consciousness. The symbol on his chest is indicating a holy order that specializes in hunting undead. The outlook is pretty grim. Have a conversation with him, but he isn't that smart as he speaks semi-broken common. He believes that all the undead are evil no matter what. Tell him that I have proof that this is not the case and that he should see it. I release him and tell him to wait here. Fly off into the town, still blooded. Meet the undead and explain the situation. He agrees to follow me and meet him. Grenade tossed in as I prepare to leave. I dive out of the way. The undead is okay and casts Enlarge on Butcher Knife, ready to fight. Tell him to wait here, I'll handle it. I'm here almight.png. Go outside and barely notice the trapwire trap haphazardly set up in the doorframe and avoid it. See no one outside. Explosion happens inside. Get to see the undead's head rolling on the ground in front of me as the house collapses. No sign of the paladin. He probably snuck in the back apparently. This is all my fault.jpg. Nearly get PTSD as that was the first time seeing straight up murder, let alone it being that brutal. Fast forward over the next 4 years. The missions get darker and worse, causing the fairy girl to get more and more jaded. For example, accidentally crit on a magic moon sorcerer specific spell that restrains a target, killing the man when I simply wished to stop him from fighting. Starts to see things in black and white now, shift from chaotic to lawful. Eventually, find self and party fighting a red dragon. Punch it in the face and manage to roll 2 crits in a row, getting the final damage on it. The fairy girl goes through one eye and out the other, covered in blood and viscera. The rest of the party is like, holy shit, what the f***? Eventually, multi-class into fighter just for action surge and AC bonus. Literally covered head to toe in scars at this point. I've turned into a killing machine. Somehow, managed to end almost every combat covered in gore, willfully or not. My face when I went from adorable good fairy to merciless magic girl. Legit one of my favorite characters I've made. Druids of the Coast. Party druid off from the boat in the middle of the ocean as a Plesiosauria because he detected a hunter shark several miles out. He goes out there and casts again to track it down and learn the form. Now he can't find the boat. It doesn't matter since he's faster than the ship by a huge amount. He's just going to get to our destination first and then post about how slow we are after wasting a bunch of the next session time, doing 2 separate travels, plus whatever junk he will want to do out of boredom of being alone. This. Based aquatic druid chad. Anon gets TPK'd twice. Stories about bad DMs of your games. I'll start. Party of 3. We are running Horde of the Dragon Queen. Want to play as a kobold artificer with a mechanical bear as a companion. From level 3 of course. The DM approves. Fast forward to the game. The other 2 players are playing a rogue and a monk. Around mid session 1. Blue Dragonborn challenges me to a duel. Ask the DM if it's realistic to have our PCs escape from danger. Yes, but I got to make a roll first. Make my PC escape with the party. No way I would have come out alive. Adult dragon nearby kills us in 1 hit anyway. Sorry guys, but the manual is written this way. We ended up skipping the session as if nothing happened, but this gets even better. Or worse, depending on how you look at it. Around session 5, sessions have been pretty meh. I'm thinking of leaving the campaign actually. We're traveling to Baldur's Gate. Goblin ambush, the usual stuff. An assassin downs me with 1 hit. No save roll, no initiative, no choices made, no nothing. The other PCs end up downed shortly after. Get a very detailed description of our new lives as goblin slaves. I'm pretty convinced that he had some weird goblin fetish stuff going on. Anon likes Yuri. Magical realm stories. Are there any times you or your GM had inserted a magical realm into the game? I'm worried my players might pick up on something that I put in because of my coon brain. Running a game in a setting inspired by 80s and 90s anime. Think Yu Yu Hakusho, Feast of the North Star, original Dragon Ball, etc. Players run into a J-pop idol who was secretly an ice demon in need of some help. Figured she'd die in the end, but they somehow save her, so I try to work her into the story later. They eventually come across a martial artist girl with fire powers who's another J-pop singer in disguise. One player likes that sort of thing, so I threw a couple in for her. They're from the same band, and through some unplanned improv, end up making the 2 I mentioned a closeted lesbian couple. I realized later that my obsession with lesbian fighter couples is leaking again. This isn't the first time this has happened. Why can't I run one game without throwing in a pair of superpowered lesbian NPCs? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, this is the first time that I've heard someone complain about this particular issue, like throwing in lesbian NPC fighter couples in the campaign. That would be interesting, just to be a player in your campaign and probably start noticing this pattern at some point, because if you do it every time, you'd probably start noticing eventually, right? But then just too afraid to ask the DM what's up with that, because you don't want to make it weird or anything. Perfect story to end the video on. The time I nuked a continent. Bimmy, cute level 11 bard. Loving, wholesome, and all around prevents murder hobos. The campaign is going okay. I got 7 nasty monsters to kill for our bestiary to be complete and the campaign to end. The first was a 100 health pain train. The last of the 7 is literally a god. We're about to hit number 6. I want to avoid the encounter if I can. Be not me, DM, homebrewer, lovable scumbag, and the party of 2 or 3 other players who drop in and out. The DM has been chewed out for his Mugby levels of number inflation in the past, his punishing combat encounters, his problem DM bingo card filling and railroading. Continues his deviant ways, but less so than before. Pretty much everyone around the table has DM experience and helps him out, but also wants to see what the f is going to happen unchecked. Due to homebrew insanity and DM shenanigans of wild proportions, I own a diamond that is the physical representation and manifestation of hell. The diamond is a hell dimension. Monster number 6 out of 7 is on the horizon. Medieval fantasy setting, but the twist is that it's actually a post-apocalypse set thousands of years in the future. Monster lives in an ancient nuclear submarine that's still active. Death and other folk have told the PCs the vague gist of the ancient civilization. Enter the magical realm of ancient technology. Get stuck in a weird 2-week time loop in which I get cloned, make progress, die trying to fight the monster, and repeat again. Each time this happens, my whole inventory is cloned with me. Clearly the DM is insane. Lovable but insane. Ah, that gif. The DM has cloned me, and therefore the Hell Dimension Diamond millions of times. Breaking even one will unleash hell on Earth. These are buried in the mountains of corpses of yours truly and sand dunes that have built up over the aeons of repeated time. We are I loot one of these diamonds. Disarm traps, enter nuclear sub, and find the boss. Evil bard giggling noises. Smash the Hell Diamond and open big ass portal to hell. Draw a teleportation circle to halfway across the continent. I convince an NPC to throw the cloned second Hell Diamond into the Doom Guy portal, whilst the party teleports out. We'll reincarnate you, bro. Yeah, I'm sure you will. Arrive at the destination safe, put on shades and play the loot. My face when I bag of holding bomb, but it's an entire dimension. Hell is destroyed in on itself. The explosion activates the submarine's nukes. The DM is whimpering. The imp familiar is whimpering. His home's gone. Folks within a 50-mile radius go insane from the hell visions. Accidentally murdered the devil without even meeting him. Mission accomplished. Watch the nukes go off from 100+ miles away. It's a blip on the radar of metal death that's going on when you bag of holding bomb hell into hell. Chuckle in glee as we're informed that the final god boss is scared now. Jesus Christ, okay then. Amazing. Yeah, on that note, we're gonna end the video here, guys. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've gotten this far, you probably like the video or the videos in general, so consider subscribing to the channel and not missing out on them in the future. With that being said, also a big thank you to everyone supporting the channel on Patreon. I really appreciate it, guys, so thank you for the support given there. Links below to that, as well as all my social media, as well as the Discord server, as well as the subreddit, as well as anything else you might want to find there. And hopefully. And with that being said, guys, that's it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.